Respect is a 2021 American biographical musical drama film directed by South African-born American director Liesl Tommy. In her feature directorial debut, written by Tracey Scott Wilson, Callie Khouri, it is based on the life of American singer Aretha Franklin. The film stars Jennifer Hudson as Franklin, with Forest Whitaker, Marlon Wayans, Audra McDonald, Marc Maron, Tituss Burgess, and Mary J. Blige in supporting roles. The film follows 3 decades of Franklin's life, from being born as a musical prodigy in an affluent African-American family, the repercussions of losing a mother at the age of 10, her audacious rise to international musical stardom, while enduring an abusive marriage, ultimately concluding with the recording of her influential live album, Amazing Grace, in 1972. A film on Franklin's life was in development for a long time, with Franklin herself involved in pre-production. However, the film languished in development hell for years due to lack of finding a suitable candidate. Following the release of the musical film Dreamgirls in 2006, Franklin asked Hudson to play her, but did not finalize her decision until seeing her in the Broadway musical The Color Purple. The film began production in early 2019 and concluded in February 2020. The film is dedicated to Franklin, who died in 2018. After much delay and postponement due to the burgeoning COVID-19 pandemic, Respect premiered in Los Angeles on August 8, 2021, and was released theatrically in the United States on August 13, 2021 by United Artists Releasing, and in other territories by Universal Pictures. Despite becoming a box office bomb with a gross of only $33 million against a $55 million budget, the film received generally positive reviews from critics, with praise for performances, the film's production values, the costume design, but received criticism for its screenplay and runtime. The cast includes Jennifer Hudson as Aretha Franklin, American singer, songwriter, and pianist, affectionately dubbed the Queen of Soul. Forest Whitaker as C.L. Franklin, an American Baptist minister and civil rights activist, also Aretha's father. Marlon Wayans as Ted White, Aretha's abusive husband and manager, who is also a businessman, songwriter, and music producer. Audra McDonald as Barbara Singers Franklin, Aretha's mother, who was also an American gospel singer and pianist. Marc Maron as Jerry Wexler, a musical journalist who turned music producer and was a major influence on American popular music from 1950s through to the 80s. And Mary J. Blige as Dinah Washington, an American singer and pianist who has been cited as the most popular black female recording artist of the 1950s songs, primarily in jazz. Now, in many ways, this film is a standard issue biopic, but it falls for me slightly shy of the subject, in this case Aretha Franklin's transcendent brilliance. But Jennifer Hudson really does pull it out, though, and she does command respect from this performance. I also particularly enjoyed Mary J. Blige as Dinah Washington. She just adds a nice little star touch to the film. Hudson, though, performs with the same tireless intensity that Aretha Franklin was known for throughout her career. And it's really an entertaining movie and really takes you on a ride with Aretha and just to understand her so much more and comprehend how fantastically talented she really was. I mean, there's a fair amount of ugliness in the Franklin story: sexual assault, domestic abuse, alcoholism, and it's to the film's credit that it doesn't resist temptation to treat these issues with kid gloves. But Respect never really goes too much deeper than the surface-level exploration of how these traumas really affected Franklin and her singing. You almost feel like this is an overly respectful biopic that steers clear of revealing the traumas that shaped the soul legend. Though Respect, like I say, can feel a bit soft in the drama department, it really does deliver, though, in the added pleasure of hearing Hudson recreate some of Franklin's key songs, from her early jazz standards that she covered for Columbia to her reinvention of the Otis Redding single that lends to the film's name, of course, Respect. Redding would often joke at the time when he performed the song, "Oh, this is the song that the girl took away from me." It's herein lies that the strength of this movie. It's through its musical power, and it cannot be said enough how Hudson really achieves here by transmitting a rich sense of who Franklin really was, as she really captures Franklin in private with every look given, word spoken, and every song sung. Hudson's performance is electrifying sight to behold, as well as wonderful on the ear. And the fact that Franklin herself chose Hudson to play her was really such an endorsement. Franklin apparently even stated that if she did play her, she'd definitely win an Oscar for her portrayal. And unfortunately, she never did. She didn't even get a nomination for this role, which I've really felt was a shame, as she was outstanding in this performance. Also, knowing for a fact that Hudson actually is performing the songs all on her own just makes the movie stand out so much more. It also shows you how good a performer Hudson has become, because navigating the ever-changing waters of Franklin's complicated life, from a young wife who doesn't quite understand exactly what kind of gift she has, through finding a way to honor her own creative spirit, and Hudson really captures this perfectly with a nuanced, layered performance. Something I found very interesting whilst doing research for this movie was both Jennifer Hudson and Aretha Franklin had parents who were victims of homicide. In 1979, Franklin's father, C.L. Franklin, was shot twice at point-blank range in Detroit home. He lapsed into a coma and died in 1984. In 2008, Hudson's mother, Darnell Donaldson, was fatally shot at her Chicago home, along with Hudson's brother and 7-year-old nephew, who was kidnapped and then found dead a few days later. And for me, it's almost like Hudson tapped into this emotion to recreate Franklin's own sense of pain and anguish. Now, as a film, it is well made, the supporting cast are good, but this film really is built around Hudson's magnificent performance here, that she plays with so much tenderness, albeit in portraying a strong and potent character like Aretha Franklin was. From its beautiful music, to its fantastic performance by Jennifer Hudson, to the wonderful insight and to the genius that it was Aretha Franklin, Respect gets an 8.5 out of 10.